Morning, you're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Jeff Meadows, the president of Mohawk's residential business. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Kemp.
Good to talk to you. We were together this time last week in Washington, D.C. at the NFA meeting, and it was good to be with that group, and we had some great weather. Most of the people you talk to, if you're just talking about the residential replacement market, some people are saying it's off, another 9 or 10% this year after a slow 23. But yet when you go to the NFA and you look at what they're doing, they're not down that far, and even a few of them are up some, right?
Right. There's some really good retailers in that group. That's one of the things that people that are really good at what they do, they're going to beat the market during tough times. And I think a lot of their membership is certainly in that category. And of course, we've got a great relationship with the NFA. We've actually had a terrific year with their membership this last 12 months or so. And of course, they added a new member, which we were happy to see, from Raleigh, USA Flooring, Chris and Amanda Lloyd. So that was their first event, and they're very strong supporters of Mohawk. So I was happy for them to be able to be part of that group. So it was good to see them there as well.
So as we see these business owners, many of them family owners, and they're getting up in their 60s and they're looking at what they're going to do, a lot of them are pivoting, and it's just given an opportunity. So you and I were talking about the future. There's going to be maybe a couple of thousand fewer retailers out there, but it's not going to be bad because the ones that are doing well are going to add more stores. And so you're going to have this group of dealers that are, in the $20 to $30 million range in annual revenues. That's kind of what the face is going to be like in a few years, don't you think?
Absolutely. You think about just the last 5 to 10 years, all the changes, in the builder multifamily segments. You had private equity come in a big way and consolidate a big part of that market. And then you had private equity come in and start buying some retail. And then what we're talking about here is just large independent retailers that may have been in one state, 10 years ago. And now they might be in 7 or 8 states. And that just continues to happen. As you mentioned, we have an aging dealer population, customer population. If they don't have kids or family members that want the business, they're just going to retire, when their lease is up, or sell their building. And then if they have a couple of nice stores in a market, this is an opportunity for the larger ones to come in and either acquire that business and grow it. So there's no question that the big are getting bigger, and that's going to continue. And the one thing I always say with that market environment, you better be able to do 3 things really well. Number one, you better have a low cost, right? Number 2, you better be able to innovate from a product standpoint. And then third, which is you can't underestimate, because you can have the first 2, and if you don't have this one, it doesn't matter, which is great relationships. Those are going to be more important than ever. We spend a lot of time with our sales teams talking about relationships with customer and culture with customer, and I think that's going to be really important as the big get bigger.
Some people are a little bit nervous about some of this private equity that's coming in here. And as you say, just pivot off this relationship comment for a minute. These businesses like Brewer and Carpet One have these great relationships. They're funding this themselves. And there's going to be plenty of people out there that self-funded their expansion, and they're going to be the new leaders in the business, don't you think?
Absolutely, and it's happening all over the place. I'm seeing it almost every month, someone going into a new market for the first time. What happens, even on the builder side, a lot of times, say an end-user builder will say, hey, I want you to come and do my business in Atlanta. I want you to install my business in Atlanta. They may not be in Atlanta. Well, they'll open up a warehouse in Atlanta, put those products in, and then they will do a shop at home for retail. There's different ways that they're doing it.
All right, let's talk about, you mentioned it a minute ago, your Q3 came out, and actually, even though the market's down, Mohawk had some pretty good results. Run us through a couple of highlights of that.
Yeah, I think this year we've really done a really good job of executing our plan. We had a plan going on for the year where we thought we could take some share really in both soft and hard surface. And the way the year played out, it ended up getting better as the year went along. and our business got better. And so you can see the result. And the main thing is, Kemp, you want to get in position before this thing turns around. I don't know when it's going to turn around, but you want to make sure that you're in a great position to be able to take advantage of the ride out of this thing. And so that's really more important. I mean, the numbers are fantastic, I think, given the market condition, but you really want to make sure you're in position to catch the ride on the other side.
So we're anticipating on Thursday they're going to get another quarter point break on the interest rate. They're going to wait and see and whether or not they're going to move again in December. And then obviously we got this huge election this week, and most people are betting that we're not going to know the outcome by Wednesday, right?
I don't think so. It may take a while. But, you mentioned the interest rates, which, the one thing that was a little disappointing, and we hope they do it again, but the mortgage rates didn't drop with it. They actually went the other direction. And, I was looking at a financial article the other day saying that 60% of the mortgages today currently at a rate of 4% or less that people already have. So you're not going to sell your house and move to a 7% mortgage, I don't think. So, we talk about next year, Kemp, I think, for any of the people that are listening, the flooring business is really impacted by existing home sales. So I don't think it's going to get great again until we get existing home sales going and those mortgage rates drop.
It's going to be the second half of 25 then probably before we see some really strong numbers, wouldn't you say?
We would agree with that, yes.
All right, so one more thing I want to talk about. You're bringing a big group to Denver in the middle of December. I think it's like a week and a half before Christmas, and it's your EDGE meeting. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so, we do EDGE every 2 years. So we did it in 2022, and we're back in Denver, the Gaylord Rocky Hotel this year, and we have a big turnout coming. A lot of people are interested in seeing what's all going to be new for 2025. We'll have all of our new introductions there. We've really done a good job this year, Kemp, of making sure we're going to ship those samples so that all the people that's coming to EDGE will be able to get their samples in some cases in January and February. So we're excited about that. Got a lot of new innovation, and we'll have Jeff Lubberbaum will be there and Paul DeCock. And speaking at our general sessions, we'll have some fun entertainment there. We'll have some educational breakouts for our customers on things that they're interested in. So, it's a great event. A lot of our customers look forward to coming to it, and we're excited to put it on.
And you changed the format of EDGE. I don't know how long ago it's been, maybe 4 or 5 years. It's the big guys in the business across the board, right?
Yeah, it's a little both. All of our large customers certainly be there, but we'll have some others there as well. And I would say versus size, it's probably some of our most loyal customers. So it doesn't matter if they're a small, medium, or large dealer. They're there because they're very loyal to Mohawk, and they're interested in seeing what Mohawk's going to have for 2025. So it's been a great program, and we're anxious to be there in December.
One of the windfalls Mohawk's had, with his acquisition of Quickstep a long time ago and the focus in laminate, you've continued to invest. You built this massive plant in North Carolina, and fortunes are falling your way because laminate is picking up market share, right?
Yeah, it's been great. We didn't sell, if you go back 5 or 6 years ago, we didn't sell a lot of laminate, which we call Revwood in our builder and retail divisions.
Right.
And now it's a substantial, sizable business in both those channels. It's a great product. What happened, back when we had the inflation a couple of years ago, a lot of the Chinese manufacturers, the products most people tell you got a little worse on the import side. Kind of opened the door for even more of it. We've added a lot of capacity the last 3 years over there. I think over 300 million feet. Got another line coming on next year. So, it's been a really good business. All
right, Jeff, it was great to talk to you. I look forward to seeing you in Colorado at the Gaylord in mid-December. Again, been talking to Jeff Meadows, the president of Mohawk's residential business, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.